Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we are going to continue to push back against DEI and all the horrible, disgusting stuff it does to the video game industry, as well as movies and everything else. I know there's a lot of people that hate these videos, that they come in and they want to tell me to grow up and touch grass and get a life and all that kind of stuff. And to all those people, I want to thank you. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your concern. And, y'all can go pound sand, because if you support DEI, then you support the destruction of civilization, Western civilization. You are subscribing to Marxist viewpoints that are causing all kinds of trouble and destroying our culture here in the West. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Altering history, trying to alter reality, trying to force people to use certain terms to describe things that aren't true. Get the fuck out of here. All right, let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Three stories today. We're going to talk about two L's and a W. Well, not two L's, but we're going to talk about one big fat L right here. And there she is, Mary Kenny. And look at that, she put her pronouns there in her picture. She, her. First off, if you put your pronouns in your bio or your picture and all that, I immediately discount you as a lunatic and an idiot, okay? And I'm not alone in that, so don't think, you might think, oh, I'm virtue signaling, I'm so cool amongst my peers. Yeah, but to the rest of humanity, to normal people, to people that live outside the Twitter bubble, you're a dumbass. And this, look at her face. She's a freaking dumbass. Marvel's Wolverine Associate Narrative Director Mary Kenny says every lever must be pulled to push disordered LGBTQ plus agenda. Awesome. That's going to make Wolverine a huge fat fail. Speaking with Dual Shockers about a recent GLAAD report bemoaning the lack of LGBTQ plus characters in video games, Kenny described the report as heartbreaking. She also stated, the GLAAD report tells us something key. Games are a way for LGBTQ people to socialize, but it also tells us something heartbreaking, that LGBTQ gamers don't feel that developers are thinking of them when they design games. Well, I don't know where these assholes are finding their games, but every game has LGBT propaganda in it from recently. It's absolutely disgusting. Go to any indie game, the main character is a little lesbian, So they're getting representation all over the world. Go play Baldur's Gate. You can have sex with a freaking bear, for God's sake. In addition to being a homosexual, you can perform bestiality. It's absolutely vile and disgusting. And you know what? If you want to make gay games, okay? I have no problem with that, and I will not ask you to change those games to accommodate me, right? If you want to make a game that is for the gay audience, make it. Okay? Same thing with movies. Make these movies. Don't try to take existing properties and change them. Don't try to take existing characters and change them and alter them to suit this small, insane portion of mentally ill people that are demanding this at the top of their lungs. It's not right. It's absolutely vile, right? Here we go. Bros, right? There's that movie came out, last year, year before, whatever. It was the first gay rom-com, it was announced. And, they promoted the hell out of that thing. And yeah, nobody went to watch it, not even the queers. I mean, that was freaking hilarious, right? There's no market for it. There's no money in it. It's absolute garbage. If you need a video game to make you feel like you belong to something, then let me tell you, you're a sad, sad person, and you need to belong to something real, okay? Video games are an escape. They're a lot of fun. I've been playing them for 40-something years. Yeah, I don't play them to belong. I don't, I have a nice group of people I play with. I have what you would call a community, but we're not there, kissing each other's ass and, and affirming each other all day long. We're busting each other's ass, making fun of each other, and having a good time playing. That's what we're doing. Kenny added, there are so many LGBTQ developers, and we want what players want. To design experiences that tell players we're here, we're important, and we belong. In order to obtain this, she declared, we need to pull every lever we have, characters, community support, mechanics, to make it so. Let me tell you something, you are here. And you belong? Yeah, you're welcome here. That's fine. Let me tell you something. You're not important, okay? And the fact that you think you're important just shows what a narcissist you are, okay? I'm not important. Nobody's important. We're all just little cogs in the machine, little bits of dust floating around the cosmos, man. You're not important. Nobody gives a shit. about you other than your immediate friends and family. Everybody else, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your opinion. Nobody cares what your pronouns are. Nobody cares what you want out of life. So get over yourself, all right? You guys are absolutely pathetic. This is the opposite of what video game developers should be doing. Instead of attempting to normalize and lead people to objectively disordered lifestyles, they should be promoting the common good. The common good is defined in the Catechism of the Catholic Church as the sum total of social condition which allow people, either as groups or as individuals, to reach their fulfillment more fully and more easily. Furthermore, Pope John Paul II detailed that the common good is not simply the sum total of particular interests. Rather, it involves an assessment and integration of those interests on the basis of a balanced hierarchy of values. Ultimately, it demands a correct understanding of the dignity and the rights of the person. Christopher Kassor at Catholic.com explains the common good, in other words, is not simply what people happen to want, but what would be authentically good for people, the social conditions that enable human flourishing. LGBTQ does not enable humans to flourish. It's an evolutionary dead end. Okay? 2 men, 2 women, they cannot produce offspring. Every branch of a family tree that turns out to be LGBTQ is going to wither up and die. Now, there are ways around it. You can do adoption. They can do all these weird things to, get themselves pregnant, whatever. Use a turkey baster. I don't care. But evolutionarily, it's a dead end. It's not natural, and it shouldn't be celebrated, and it shouldn't be pushed on everyone. It's absolutely retarded that we do this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and link this one down below so you guys can check it out on your own and let me know your thoughts of it, but it's absolutely horrible. Horrible. We're going to move on to the second story, and that is Elon Musk weighs in on Assassin's Creed Shadows featuring a potentially gay black samurai as the main character. DEI kills art. Oof. You ain't kidding. Musk weighs in while responding to ex-user Ian Miles Chong. Chong wrote, should Ubisoft delay Assassin's Creed Shadows in response to widespread backlash over this game's injection of DEI? The game is so thoroughly woke that it features a black gay protagonist depicted as a real historical samurai in Japan. Offensive beyond belief. No one asked for this. And Musk replied simply, DEI kills art. And he's right, man. I mean, art is art, right? Art is something that is open for interpretation. You and I can look at the same painting, listen to the same song, watch the same movie, and we'll come away with 2 very different opinions on what it meant, what the painting's trying to depict, what the movie was about, what the song's about. One common one I'd like to talk about is Every Breath You Take, a song by the Police that came out in the 80s. It was off their Synchronicity album, I think it was. Yeah, Synchronicity. This is a song that everyone wanted to play at their weddings and all that, and it's a highly misunderstood song. It's a song about a stalker. It's not a love song. It's a song about a stalker, a mentally ill stalker. And it's kind of funny. Even Sting, has come out and talked about it. He's like, he goes, I'm astounded that people want this played at their wedding. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so let's get back to this. I've talked so much about this stupid game. I just can't wait for I can't wait for it to come out and shit the bed. I really can't. But Ubisoft revealed that in the upcoming game, players will have the option to play as either Yusuke or a fictional character named Neo. In a blog post, the company described Yusuke as a real-life samurai and explained the decision to make the historical figure playable, and yada yada yada. We've talked about all this before. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse again. This will be linked to down below, but it's just, it was bad enough that they chose feudal Japan as a backdrop for this game, as the time period that it takes place, and instead of giving us a nice Japanese samurai, which is what everybody would have wanted, we get a black samurai based off of a historical character who is a samurai only in fictional accounts of his life, not in reality. There's no indication that he was anything more than a retainer, somebody who assisted, basically, the caddy, so to speak, for the samurai. So absolutely insane that they picked this guy, and now they want, and then they made a second character female, and then they're making them both gay. It's gotten to the point of parody, and argue all you want against it, right? Tell me I'm wrong, tell me this, tell me that, I'm stupid, I'm bigoted, I'm racist, I'm homophobic, whatever. I don't give a shit about your opinion if you attack me with those words, because you know what, it's bigger than a black character. It's bigger than a gay character. It's bigger than a female character at this point. It's gotten to the point of self-parody where it's all the time, it's something. like that. You know, every time you hear of a new project coming out, like, oh, this sounds like a good movie, or this sounds like a good TV show, or this sounds like, it's like, all right, I can't wait to see how they screw it up. And inevitably, it's there. And if you're not looking for it, you know, if you're just a normie out there and you don't really pay attention to these kind of things, you may not notice it right away. You might notice something's wrong. Oh, this is a little weird, but okay, whatever. You know, we'll move on. But once your eyes are open and you get the gift of sight, you can never close those eyes again. You will always see it. You know, watch 20 minutes of YouTube commercials, and you will see that everybody that they advertise to is an interracial family or gay or something like that. There's no normal white family. There's no normal black family. There's no, it's just, yeah, it's just gone off the rails. Now let's talk about a win and a loss. Okay, Forbes video games writer Paul Tassi sees that Shift Up introduced new sexy outfits to Stellar Blade. Yeah, Stellar Blade had a big update drop yesterday, today at the time of filming. I haven't downloaded it yet or anything like that, but it's a new patch. It detailed the changes on Next. The company detailed it added a new boss challenge mode, which sounds badass. It allows players to replay against defeated bosses in multiple settings. It also introduced a new costume called Neuralink Suit that unlocks after a player defeats all bosses in the new boss challenge mode. Furthermore, the company introduced 2 new outfits from the Kunoichi series that can be obtained at Adam's Safe House. We'll have to go in and get those. My understanding is those 2 outfits are kind of like the ones, or they are the ones that were censored from the original game. So yeah, here we go. You know, maybe a different color and all that. So as for the 2 new outfits, they're called Midsummer Red Hood and Midsummer Alice. The Midsummer Red Hood outfit description reads, introducing Tetrastar C&T's Midsummer Collection swimwear, where even the big bad wolf can't bother Red Hood's summer escape. While Midsummer Alice states, introducing Tetrastar C&T's Midsummer Collection swimwear, step into Wonderland's vacation spot, make it your own. Great references, by the way, to the, you know, the big bad wolf there, Little Red Riding Hood, and of course Alice in Wonderland. So as you can see, this is like the bunny suit with the shirt underneath that was added post, or added with the day 1 patch right here, removed. So we go back to, you know, the original design of it, and we'll get a little bit of a closer look here for you perverts out there. But yeah, you see that, and it no longer has that extra fabric here on the side that the new version of the bunny suit had. So that's gone. And then this one here, can we go? Nope. There we go. And this one's got, you know, it's more revealing and all that. So this is the way those 2 suits, I forget what the other one was called, but they've been restored to their original style, just different colors. So is it a full win? You know, it's enough. The suits are back in there. And again, it's not about the suits. It's not about the, you know, I could, you know, honestly, not a big deal one way or the other. It's nice to get what you paid for, and it was aggravating that they did change it, and it seems like it was a Sony thing. Maybe this is the way that Shift Up negotiated with Sony and said, look, man, we promised them this and that, and, you know, I know you guys wanted to censor it, but look at the backlash we're getting. We were so well received, and everybody was so happy to have us and download this game, and now we're getting crapped on because of this. Can we throw them a bone? And they threw us a bone, and it works. Mark Kern, God bless Mark Kern, who started the Stellar Blade movement there, stated, we did it, you did it. Free Stellar Blade celebrates as Shift Up and Stellar Blade uncensors outfits. Thank you everyone who participated in the 8-step plan and a petition. Thank you at Jam 3rd for listening to the gamers. Please sign the petition, which will now be sent as a gift. Oh, let's see this whole thing. I didn't see the whole thing. Hold on. Which will now be sent as a gift to Shift Up. They have helped some to make this possible. Everyone works so very hard. Gamer voices are small but growing. Our wins will be bigger and bigger over time. And Mark's right. You know, this, you got to keep pushing back on these things, because if you don't, we end up with our back against the wall like we've had it for years, where you get this vocal minority ruling everything and making all the rules, getting people canceled because, you know, they're loud. You know, it's not the guy that screams loudest that wins the argument. It's the guy that approaches that argument in a logical manner and presents his case with logic and decorum, and doesn't allow himself to be distracted, doesn't allow himself to be taken off subject. No, you argue your case and you move forward, you move on. You know. Well, while Kern celebrated, Tassi bemoaned the introduction of the new outfits, writing at Forbes, "The bad part of this is that the culture war folks here have been rewarded for their frankly ridiculous campaign lambasting this game. The developers, Sony, everyone for the original outfit changes as some sort of conspiracy which did not exist." He added, "The outfits themselves are fine. Again, there are a dozen outfits at least that's revealing in the game, but this being a reward for this group and their behavior is not a great look." He also reacted to a post from Grums pointing out that he was upset, writing, "Do not care about how the new Stellar Blade outfits look. They're fine. Giving these guys a win absolutely sucks, and they'll be dining on it forever, so yeah, I'm not thrilled about it." Well, let me tell you something, Paul. This is only the first win of 1,000 wins as we get this campaign going and this war is fought and won as we destroy the woke agenda, we destroy DEI in gaming, and we take back gaming for normal people and take it away from the freak show that's running it right now. All these weird activist journalists and developers and all that, they all have to go. The whole industry is in crisis mode right now. Layoffs constantly, everything's in a state of flux. You got Microsoft buying up different studios and then shutting them down. Studios are laying off people. It's an absolute mess. People are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on games and they're not making their money back. It's an absolute mess, and a lot of it is because there's too much garbage out there. And Plastic Man sums it up perfectly right there. But yeah, there's just too much garbage out there, and it needs to be, things need to be reined in. I don't celebrate people losing jobs usually, but you know what? If you're really bad at your job and you're being disingenuous and you're an evil person, because if you're pushing these things, you're kind of evil, man. Goodbye. Get out. We'll see you in the next life, So as far as Tassie's assertion that the outfits being changed were part of a conspiracy, that is simply not true. The game's director, Young-tae Kim, acknowledged the change in outfits at a launch event, stating, "We are aware of this issue. The version we ended up with showing was a day one patch version. It's not an answer that will satisfy users anyway. Internal discussions are ongoing. The physical copies did not have day one patch installed that changed the Holiday Rabbit and Cybernetic Bondage outfits." That's the one, Cybernetic Bondage. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. So what do you guys make of Tassie's comments regarding these new outfits? Do you think like Plastic Man here, or what's your opinion? What's your opinion about all this with the culture war right now? It's absolute insanity out there, and I'm enjoying it. I like talking about this kind of stuff. I love a good debate. I asked the other day for somebody to tell me when DEI has actually improved something, and I got a lot of people attacking that video and attacking me and and calling me all kinds of stuff and all that, but not one person was able to give me one instance of DEI improving something. Not one, which is fascinating. You got hundreds of people viewing the video, dozens of responses, not one. I had one person that started a conversation. It hasn't continued yet, but they started off in a very good way that was open for discussion. So I responded to them in kind. I'm going to wait a couple days, and then we might go over and look at that video. We might go back and look at some of the comments and laugh at some of these people. So anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. Y'all have a great weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm Cat the Beefy with the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications, and don't forget, I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.